Huh? Okay, I can't see chats on YouTube via Restream. Interesting. Okay. Well, welcome to my channel, by the way. I'm deciding to do one more live stream today, just a normal rant. It's one of those things where I kind of saw something with what I want to say what Dave Portnoy did, or Barstool. I mean, some say it was brilliant how he bought back his company for $1. I'm not going to get into discussions in detail about the buyback, basically, because honestly, it could be, it might not be, who knows, we'll see. The one thing is, though, he's not allowed to work with any something like the FanDuels and DraftKings out there, basically. He's not allowed to do that. So that's another revenue stream. But one of the things is like, we knew Barstool, basically, his main property was one of the ones where like it would always take other people's content and is able to post it up on their end, basically, and get more millions of views as a result of that. So one of the things is essentially copywriting or copying, or just basically not coming up with the original material for their own channel, I guess you could say. And so found out now that by them not being, I guess, punished in ways via YouTube and Twitter, or now what is known as X and such, and all the others, where sending out or using other people's material, they wouldn't be fined or such, or banned or whatever it may be, to the point where like what they did is they had these shadow accounts or ghost accounts, 40 ghost accounts or whatever amount of ghost accounts there is, and basically they take those accounts, grab someone's content, that ghost account grabs that someone's content, uses it for their own, and then they basically give permission to Barstools, and those 40 accounts or ghost accounts were basically owned by Barstool, to the point where what they did is, like I said, basically take a content from someone. Let's say you have something funny and it's like not getting as much traction. This ghost account, let's say Ghost One, decides to take your content, repurpose it for their own, basically. They use it, so they don't get your permission, but they're repurposing it at that point, and then they don't get much. But then they take that and they say, you know what, hey, I'm gonna give it to Barstool. I'm giving you the copyright info, basically. You're allowed to like go ahead and display it, show it, basically. So they get all the views, while you as the user haven't gotten anything as a result. And the thing is like, to YouTube, X, and all that stuff, they're like, well, you're violating copyright, basically. But in reality, they're not, because what it is they just got it from an intermediary. They didn't know. They didn't steal it from the person directly. They got it from an intermediary, and they could prove it. But so the thing is that intermediary just their accounts get locked out and whatever it may be, and Barstool doesn't. But what it's turning out to be is that these 40 ghost accounts were owned by Barstool, so they were circumventing a way of these copyright. I don't want to say copyright laws, but more so of copyright infringement, basically. Getting away with the digital copy management assets, and essentially, basically they basically found sort of a loophole in ways. And mad props to them for doing that. But in reality, what it shows basically is Portnoy doesn't have any original content on his own. Honestly, I've seen some of these shorts and TikTok videos and whatnot about like him and what's it called? I don't know if it's recent or not, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty old. But discussing about pizza, like rating pizzas everywhere. I mean, honestly, as a New Yorker, it's one of those things like, you know what? It's up to your opinion, but you don't have to rank them basically based on your taste and say, oh, this is horrible. And then finding out someone else goes in and is like, they love it. I mean, and he's trying to basically, I understand what he's trying to do, like give his sense of if this is good pizza or not, but then he's adding more flavor to it. I mean, come on. All you got to say is like, on a scale of 1 to 5, is it good or not from your opinion? But the fact that he has to discuss more and more is like, oh, this isn't a pizza and whatever, but it's so good. Honestly, whatever. I don't really give. I could give 2. I'm gonna keep it clean. I could just give 2 rats caboose about it, honestly. But from that, we see that people catch it on, and I was like, okay, maybe I should create some bogus accounts, and then like basically use that as copyright. It's like, hey, reshare from me, boom, and go from there. That's it, boom. But in reality, that's not me. I'm more of more of an original. Anyways, uh, now another thing that I want to gripe about a little bit. Um, Let me come back for a second. I just got to take care of something very quickly. 1 second, sorry. And by the way, it's going to be live. I'm not going to stop streaming, so I'm going to let it keep going. What was I going to talk about? Oh yeah. The other thing is I see what Netflix is doing. I totally understand. Going all these routes of like, as well as well, not Peacock, but like what they're trying to do is basically trying to copy what Bravo did with $1 Million Listing, L.A. I understand real estate, being in the real estate business. They're trying to over glorify it. Honestly, now it's selling. The $1 Million Listing, L.A. season 14. It was pretty interesting, but the two Joshes and I forgot her name. Damn it, I can't remember her name now. I mean, they were a character. I mean, I honestly didn't watch season 1 through whatever. Honestly, I didn't even bother because it was one of those things. I was like, I was just kind of curious to see what season 14 was. Josh Flagg is a pretty interesting character, to say the least. Altman, it's not original, but I'll admit though, the fact that the man has able to sell these houses at a phenomenally high cost, that's pretty impressive. But the fact that then Netflix says like, hey, you know what? If they're successful there, let's do it as well too with selling Sunset with the Oppenheimer Group. Okay, so be it. But now you're having all these real estate agents, and they're like, it seems like with real estate agents, you got to be a certain type, and I'm like, oh, I feel sorry for those that really want to get, like selling like as real estate agents, basically more than anything else. But then there's commercial real estate more than anything else than personal real estate, or home real estate, more to say the least. Now the fact is like Netflix has selling Sunset, selling OC, and now I have a feeling they're going to do selling Cabo San Lucas, because it's like a $2 billion worth of assets there that need to be sold basically at that point. And I wouldn't be surprised $1 Million Listing LA goes to $1 Million Listing Vegas, because let's put it this way, Vegas is becoming a new hot property, new end of where all the mega mansions are being created essentially. Let's not deny that. That's where all this stuff is going at that point. And I want to say that is, yeah, if I had the money, yeah, I'd gladly go to Vegas. But the problem is it's damn hot there. I can't go to Nevada. It's damn hot there. Maybe Reno, maybe, but like close to like Las Vegas itself. I mean, no. I mean, granted, you're close to the strip, but I don't know if I could deal with that heat at 24/7. Considering that you would need air conditioning running practically 24/7 at that point, and I don't know if I could do that. Sorry if you are sending a chat or sending, if you're typing something in the chat, I can't see it. I'm using Restream as as an app to stream to both, not only this to YouTube but also to Twitch and vice versa. I can't see the chats for some reason. So if you're on Restream, you could go to Restream and send me the chat. But outside of that, I can't see any other chats if that's the case. I don't know if anyone's viewing this either because it shows 0, so I'm assuming it's 0. If it is, at least it goes permanent and you guys can watch it at that point. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to get into it, but I have no... It's the ridiculousness is just by far unbelievable. The far right, i.e. Gates, is forcing McCarthy to basically do an impeachment of Biden. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why would you want to impeach Biden? I mean, I understand, like, the whole Hunter Biden situation and all that stuff. That makes sense. But honestly, it's a little far-flung to what I'm saying, basically. I mean, it's not a case where, like, Joe Biden's doing anything currently right now to incite a riot, to incite an insurrection, to basically create discourse within the country or with its, whatever it may be. I don't see that happening, honestly. And I could see this is not Gates alone. This is Gates basically getting, essentially, basically being a puppet to the puppet master himself. You could tell this is Trump. This is Trump, basically trying to sow discourse into this, so that come time for election, Trump has something to go after, basically at that point. And if he does, the best part is I think Biden could just go right back out. It's like, well, at least I didn't incite an insurrection and try to like overtake our democracy, or something of that nature. Basically, I mean, like basically they both have something essentially to their back and forth, because one of the things is Trump used the Clinton's emails and email server against her. He's going to try to do that with Joe Biden, of course. Biden, of course, like I said, he's got a bunch of ammo on his plates right now to do that. And actually, you know what? Honestly, I'll say this: he can go right after Trump and say, like, you're responsible for COVID being a worldwide pandemic, because the fact is, like, he withdrew funds from the WHO, and because he's withdrawing funds from the WHO had to relinquish some of the people that were there in China to overview some of the stuff, and because of that, China, not knowing how well it is, basically, the virus spread as a result. If the WHO personnel were still in place, chances are that probably would have been contained. He's probably saying, oh, well, he'll probably bring up all this other stuff. But the reality is, like, yeah, but all these diseases that are out there did not cause a global shutdown. This caused a global shutdown. And then Printer was like, well, why should we be paying for it? Why didn't everyone else pay for it? Well, you know what? We're one of the richest nations in the country. If we are, I mean, don't we have don't we have the obligation, especially in our self-interest, to make sure that we don't shut down? And like basically because of that, our economy went to crap at that point, and it still is in a way. And like Biden can prove all he's on, but inflation's there. It's another Jimmy Carter era, basically. That's pretty much what's coming down. It's another Jimmy Carter era. He's got to rectify the situation quickly, or basically use Obama and like ask him to help him out, basically. Because honestly, this is not something that should be. He could say, "Oh well, Bidenomics," but in reality, it's not. Bidenomics to the point where like, let's raise the prices up even more, honestly, and with lower pay. You could try that all as you want, but like, it's not going to work. But in any case, now anyway, to the point where like Gates pushing it to the point where like it's basically him threatening McCarthy. He's like, "Hey, you don't do this, I'm going to invoke a vote for the speaker," and McCarthy was so badly wanting that Speaker of the House that he was like, all right, fine, I'll give you that one vote to basically cause a referendum to change of leadership, for an election of leadership, basically. He basically put it in his hands. It's his own doing, basically, McCarthy's own doing. Unless he can, figure out a way to get, basically isolate Gates, which is not happening, it's his own fault at that point. That's pretty much it. Unless he can rally a bunch of Republicans around him that are not with Gates, but rally a lot around him, it's not happening. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't want to get into politics, but just jumped right into it because I was hearing this. I'm like, I can't believe this is actually happening, but it is. Again, one more second. I'll come back. I just got to go get something very quickly. Well, this is live and unrehearsed because I'm eating, I guess what you could call my lunch. I didn't really have a lunch today. It's a Jimmy Dean turkey sausage, egg white, cheese sandwich. Sorry about that. I'm just too hungry. And there's no way to pause this stuff. Okay. There's one thing I just realized. YouTube, when you're doing a live stream, if someone's chatting with you, they don't actually post it up in the comment section. Is that right? I guess so. But honestly, how do you see those chats then? If someone was saying some stuff, how do you view those chats? I can't find it anywhere. If there was, I would love to see it, but I can't see it, so it's kind of sucky. In any case, what I was also going to rant about, I might as well rant about something else. Aaron Rodgers. So I'm a little far away because I'm still eating. Aaron Rodgers. Achilles, a torn Achilles. Pretty much is out for the season. He's done for the season. Maybe for the next season. At age of 39, going to be 40. Question is will he still come back and play? Because there was talks that he was thinking of retiring anyways. It's just coming to New York, having all this control, all this excitement, and generating this buzz in New York about him being there as a Jets. Will he want to come back? Is he willing to do the rehabilitation that basically sidelines him, and he's only going to be rehabilitating, not training for next year? Is this a case where this is in 4 plays? In 4 plays, he pretty much ended his career and is into retirement. I mean, it could be a sign. I mean, Pat McAfee actually called it out, basically. I mean, I seen some of his some clips of him, basically, and it's pretty impressive what he was saying. I had no idea how good Pat McAfee is, actually. But he's right. The fact that if this isn't a sign to him that he should retire, I don't know what it is. Because, think about it. You're training and doing everything, basically. 4 plays into the game, into the series, you pretty much are done for the season. That's got to say something. Is the Jet season's over? I don't know. I posted up a video about it, or will be posting up a video. It's up to you if you watch it or not. But the real question is this. Is Rodgers going to come back next year? That's a good, interesting question. I don't know. I honestly don't know either. It depends on the man's will and drive, basically, and desire. Does he want to go out a winner in a Super Bowl? As most people do. Honestly, when Tom Brady won that last Super Bowl, he should have just retired right then and there. The fact that he went out the way he did in Tampa Bay, I mean, in the playoffs, granted, yeah, it was in the playoffs, I would have retired just like the way Eli Manning did. Retired off after winning the Super Bowl. He should have done the exact same thing. I mean, not Eli Manning, Peyton Manning. You can see where my head's at with being a Giants fan. Be right back. Let me just take another bite. The question is does Aaron Rodgers want to retire that way? 4 plays into the season, and he's done. I don't think that's a thing that he wants to go out on. I think he's coming back next year because honestly, there's no way he's going to go out like that. And with the Giants, I don't think the season's over, but they're not making the playoffs this year. I think every team Um, so how the Dallas G played, they know what to do. They know how to beat Jones. You're gonna like try to basically make Jones beat you. That's what it comes down to. Incapacitate. I don't want to say incapacitate, but like basically, if you could basically make Saquon Barkley and the running game a non-factor, let Daniel Jones beat you. And the thing is, chances are 90% of the time he won't be able to. There's going to be those 10% of the times. That's only depending on your secondary and such. But in reality, I don't think so. So I think most of these teams figured it out. I think it's done. Yeah. Yep. As I said, this is live, so you saw me eating a little bit, taking a couple of bites of, part of my lunch. I don't know what to say, honestly, because I don't want to keep ranting about the Giants and Daniel Jones. Don't want to talk too much about politics, honestly. CNN is definitely hyping up that hurricane. And, of course, thoughts and prayers out to the people of Morocco and the families out there that were lost in the earthquake, as well as those in the flood that happened in Libya. No one wants to see these natural disasters taking out human lives, but I mean, honestly, it's like you try to make the best of it. Hopefully, those that are affected can grow stronger from this. Yeah. It's interesting. There's a biographer that was tailing Musk for 3 years, and basically came out that it's going to come out with an autobiography of Elon Musk. I don't know if it's a book I want to read, but at the same time, there's some insights into some of the stuff that he's done. I'm kind of curious to see about the Twitter buyout, OpenAI. I mean, the fact that like he was able to, I forgot the guy's name, that he recruited out of Google. One of the main guys from Google AI's aspect before they bought out DeepMind, and like the fact that even Musk was trying to block the buyout of Google buying out DeepMind. I'm like, whoa, but Musk basically recruiting, and now supposedly Musk also recruited quite a number of people from both OpenAI and Google's AI's division into his XAI. He's definitely building up that X again. It'll be interesting to see how that works. X.ai. I don't know what his fascination with X is, but okay. And the fact that honestly, the man's got 11 kids, so I'm mad props to the men. I mean, like 11 kids with 3 to 4 different women. Hey, man. Whatever floats your boat. Is it possible he wants a very large family? I don't know. It's possible. I mean, the man's practically one of the richest persons in the world. So, hey, why not? Yeah, I'm pretty much tapped out. I have no idea what to say unless something else crops up. You know what? Let me just take a look at the news. Oh yeah, there's this case of the decontestant. They're gonna take off the not pseudoephedrine, but phenylephrine, as well as pseudoephedrine. Two of the big ingredients for some of these over-the-counter medications like Benadryl, Mucinex, Theraflu. I think it's even in Flonase. They're saying that's not really any use. It really doesn't help in the decongestion part because it's a main decongestant ingredient. It doesn't really do anything much, and they're just like, you know what, might as well take it off. The thing is or take it out as an ingredient. It doesn't hurt anyone, but they're asking for, to please take it off as an ingredient in your products. And as well as Michael, sorry. And the thing is, if it does do that, they do that. All these, it's a major blow, not a major blow, but it's a blow to some of these pharmaceutical companies. With what they got to do is removing this price and coming up with alternatives for it or substitutes for it. And of course, there's the Apple release. I'm not sure what to say about the Apple, honestly. The iPhone 15, iPhone 15. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the Google Store, kind of curious. I remember, like, supposedly today something was supposed to happen with the Google Store. Did it just freeze up? Yeah. Something was supposed to happen on the Google Store, where, like, they're supposed to put something up about it, but not about iPhone, but, like, make their own, I don't want to say announcement, but something to trump a little bit, with the iPhone and, Apple event today. Okay, my machine is freezing up now. But anyways, yeah. I can't get on there for some reason. I don't know why. Interesting. Oh, okay, now it's there. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, my laptop's freezing up. Not sure what to do here. If you're seeing this, it's happening live. I'm doing this on the Surface, Microsoft Surface 3. It's pretty good, honestly. I'm surprised. I've had it for like a good 5 years now, and pretty good still. And using this to stream and such. I can't say this. I have my work laptop. It's the Surface Laptop 4. Pretty good as well too. Surprisingly, I was really surprised about it. I thought Lenovo was the best. Honestly, I'm really liking the Surface 4. I'm kind of curious what the Surface 5 is. I know it's out. I haven't gotten it because it's a work laptop. I'm not going to request for a new Surface 5 unless my laptop craps out. But right now it's not. It's been like 2 years and it's doing really well. I'm surprised. In fact, its touchscreen is another added benefit. Some people have always Mac'd on the Windows laptop, specifically Mac users, and that pun intended. That was a pun intended over there initially, to the point where like there's like, oh, Mac, OS X is better. I mean, honestly, the thing is like you got WSL, Windows Subsystem Linux. It's great. It's a game changer. Let's not deny that it's a real game changer. You can do stuff on there that you translate onto an Ubuntu box at that point as well too, or a VM or virtual machine, and Debian for that matter. You could also put in any other flavor of Linux you want on there at that point. I just put it on Ubuntu because it's pretty good. You could put in CentOS as well too, Fedora for that matter, and still run it. And still have a Windows operating system at that point. So honestly, I'm kind of loving it a little bit. The drawback is, of course, you have viruses that are more prone to Windows laptops versus a MacBook, but honestly, it's pretty impressive, to say the least. With that, I gotta end this. I think it's causing my Surface to crash right now, so I'm gonna have to end this live, basically. With that, I'll leave it at that. Again, please leave your name, not your name. Please leave your comment in the comment section once this becomes permanent. I do read my comments when I get when I do get notification. Like today, I just found out I had someone commented 3 weeks ago. I just happened to be going through my comments. I was never notified, but I looked at it and responded to it. Sorry for the late response. Similar to some people that responded yesterday or 4 days ago, didn't see it until today because I went to Studio, the YouTube creator. I looked at the comments. I'm like, let me see all my comments. I'm like, oh damn, there's a bunch that I haven't responded to, and I started responding to them. I wish they would notify me, but didn't. I do read them like this, and if they warrant a response, I do respond to them. And at the same time, if you like my video, like my content, like my channel, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you are already subscribed, I do thank you for that. And please, also, I welcome feedback as well too. With my lives, go ahead and give me a comment, feedback on my lives as well too, live streams. I'd love to hear what you guys think about it. On Twitch, unfortunately, I can't see stuff. I haven't logged into Twitch in quite a while. I just happen to be looking at it as like, I might as well use Twitch as a streaming thing, even though I'm not going to share my screen. Eventually, I eventually might when I start doing some tech stuff or tech related stuff, like running Ansible, running Terraform and such. I'll probably do that one of these days. But with that, I'll leave it at that. Unfiltered, unedited, and of course, always unrehearsed, as you saw. So with